Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah Parson and I am the Oracle Artist. I'm here to help make you laugh, discover divine clarity, and be your own oracle. Fun Fridays, I tend to use two of the most fabulous decks known to the divine, which are What Do You Mem? And my own crafted Fun Friday Oracle deck with Buddy the Elf as their spirit guide and corresponding messages on the back. But today, when I went to shuffle our crowd pleaser favorite, What Do You Mem? Nothing kept coming out, or all of them kept coming out. And I just got this message that What Do You Mem is sitting on the sidelines today. Our favorite, beautiful, the most divine deck there is giving its giving its power over to other decks today. It's like, you know what, I'm usually the star of the show, but I will humbly step back today. So for our fun stuff, I don't know, fun. For the funny cards, I guess, we're only featuring Buddy the Elf today, my Fun Friday deck. So let's just blow a kiss to What Do You Mem? We love you, we love you. And, I don't know. It was so interesting. And all the ones that normally I'd be like, I feel like this could be a card, it was like, no. And then finally I just got the message, Sarah, not this week. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, this is the whole point of Fun Friday. The people, what do you mem? But I think it might be the subject of today. I don't know. I'm very curious, but the subject today is, what is your untapped power? And I'm feeling really lightheaded. I'm literally been grounding myself visually, and I have black tourmaline on me. Maybe I need to hold this hematite for a while. They feel very powerful, like each pile. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. And here, when I say be your own oracle, there's always a card or two that after I'm finished reading the pile for you, I will then flip over another card that I don't read, but you do for yourself. And so this is a collective reading. Even each pile is still multiple people watching it, so for the collective. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. There will be some messages that hit home to you and some that you're like, that doesn't feel aligned to me. And also sometimes I will pick up a card, show it to you, and I will start channeling the messages for it, but you might be tuning me out and kind of come up with your own message, like getting your own downloads and own channeled messages for that card. Trust what you are hearing inside or feeling inside your own body and mind, because sometimes you pick cards and some of them, yeah, like I said, you'll be like, ding, 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 that is exactly spot on for me, or that feels aligned for me, because again, this is what's your untapped power. So this is more bringing up things that you might not be aware of, or, excuse me, you might, when you hear it, you're like, that makes sense. But again, there might be a couple cards or one card where the imagery is drawing to you, but the messages I'm portraying might not. And that's okay. Do what feels good to you. If you're getting another message, that's what's for you. That's the whole point of being your own oracle. We all have it in us. And I'm just here for fun and relaying some messages and, but you're your own oracle at the end of the day, or during the day as well, the whole day and evening, the evening. So I also felt to not pick crystals today. I kept looking at some, and I just kept being like, no. So just a very different reading vibe today. It's almost like, I think for the crystals, your guides want you to literally just look at the cards and not have many distractions. The only things that will be different is you'll see the different Buddy the Elf cards. So maybe you'll be drawn to one of the facial expressions, or this one without a face. I was told usually I have the Be Your Own Oracle ones within the pile, but I was told to do it this way. So there's something about this reading, I want to say that feels magnetic. For some reason I got that term, but and like I said, I feel very floaty. I feel way more kind of out of it than normal. Like, I will get out of it, but I've learned so many strategies to not feel this way. I kind of feel how I used to felt when I first started reading. So it's very interesting. Like, there's just a lot of energy here, and I'm wondering if there's just a lot of like your collective energies here, like your teams. Maybe there's more teams than normal like joining me. So hello if you're new and watching this. Maybe you discover my channel with this reading. I'm just so curious. So again, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. I will have the start times for each pile within the description. So I will see you at your fabulous reading.
Ooh, yeah, it's Fun Friday.
Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading today. So I'm gonna first do this one that was on top. So it says raised by elves. And before I even flip it over, I feel the way you've been raised might be like different than like the societal norm. You know, how they're like, you have a mom and a dad and 2.5 like siblings or whatever, you know, like right away I'm almost feeling like I haven't even flipped this over yet and I don't remember what the message is, but I feel like the way you were raised is very beneficial for how you're moving forward through life, or plays a big role with, I'm hearing like your purpose in this life, or what you feel like your purpose is, and I feel like your untapped power leads to your purpose also. So something about being like the raised by elves, like how you were raised or brought up in this world, I feel plays a big role. And even if you're like, but I was raised like, you know, with a mom and a dad and 2.5 siblings, you know, or whatever, like, or you're part of that 2.5 siblings, I think that's how it goes. But like, just there's something about how you're raised, where you were raised, the ideas you were brought up with, the teachings that you learned has a big part of your purpose and untapped power. So let's flip this over. Hippos are large and in charge. Be like a hippo. Okay, so with this message, I'm feeling like there's 2 different ways this can go depending on, like, there's some of you watching this, you love walking around with big energy. Like, you love having people know who you are. You love like feeling that, and like that's part of your power. But again, this is what's your untapped power. So I'm getting most of you feel small. Make yourself smaller. But I'm hearing you are large and in charge. Like, you have energy that needs to be, like, you have big energy and you need to make it big. I was just thinking like big dick energy. Like, you have that. Whether you have one or not. Like, but it's more of like, you have this innate confidence within you, but I feel maybe it's how you've been raised that's taught you to make yourself smaller. And I got a lot of chills with that. So I'm almost feeling like a lot of you, like in our society, like if you look a certain way, or if you're a certain gender, or you know, look a certain gender or something like that, like you are told to act a certain way, and that diminishes other parts of you that shouldn't be diminished. So I'm hearing like, let all your parts shine. Let all of who you are shine. That's your untapped power, is you have so much within you. And I feel like a lot of you feel like you're stronger than you let on. Like, it's almost like you're like, I feel like I could like win a war. Like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like part of you like fantasizes when you have like fantasize or daydream. You picture yourself being the hero, or like the person that stops the bad person, or the person that saves everybody. And I feel like that's because you like subconsciously know you have all this power, and it's like the only way to like let that out is through your fantasies. But in real life, you have that power. You have so much power within you that just, I heard like, let it out, like hear you roar. And so I feel like I'm hearing like self-exploration of your power needs to begin, of like, yeah, they're telling me to keep going and it'll kind of make more sense. But again, how you were raised, I feel like has taught you to diminish all of your power, like parts of yourself. But you need to be large and in charge like a hippo. Like it's time to unlearn what you've learned, basically. Okay, this one, strength. Oh my gosh, what's your untapped power? The strength. This is a tarot card. I love this deck. It has major arcana in it along with oracle cards. So strength, like I am hearing like, okay, so like usually like on the strength card it shows like someone taming a wild, like a lion, and it could be like animal instincts are part of this tarot card, and I'm hearing you've been trained to tame your animal instincts. You've been trained to tame parts of you that are like wild, like naturally wild and exploratory, like curious. Like I'm hearing curiosity, things that actually aren't bad, but I'm being brought to my classroom. So I was a teacher for 6 years and then did practicums, all that stuff before then. And okay, so specifically I was a preschool special ed teacher. And one reason why I left the profession is I just realized they're trying to control everyone. They're trying to make everyone the same. And I felt terrible trying to make all students do the same thing. In special ed, you're learned to modify and accommodate all students what they need. But really the whole purpose is to conform everybody. And I feel like that's what you, like, I'm picturing in a school setting. I feel when you were in school, like maybe you were talked a lot more or laughed loudly or something, like there were things you did, or like you had to doodle, or like you had to fidget, like you were moving all the time, and like you were told over and over again how that was not okay and that was not a strength. But I'm hearing those are your strengths. The things you had to keep tame, the things you were taught to tame, to diminish, to keep small, those are your untapped powers. Those are the true gifts you've been given. And I'm just getting so many chills. This feels very big. Think about, I'm just really hearing in school, I feel like there's a lot of inner child healing to do with this. In the school setting, over and over again, getting in trouble or being told you're naughty. Like I keep hearing you're naughty. So I don't know if that's for a couple people or one person specifically that was told that. But I'm hearing you just basically were brought down. And I think this might have caused depression or anxiety in a lot of you, because that's who you are. And again, that's one of, like, I saw it firsthand, like how teachers are taught to have students behave. Like my biggest thing was behavior and like working with students with behavior. But in the end, it was like, literally, I'm like, everyone's their own person. Everyone deserves to be who they are, you know? Like, why am I trying to get this child to do X, Y, and Z when literally they're learning this other thing or showing other kids this awesome way to do something, you know? So like, I was kind of like trying to be the hippie teacher, like, but you know, you can only do that for so long. But anyway, I'm just like, they keep showing me in my classroom and almost like how I tried to teach my students versus what like the school district, how they wanted me to in certain ways. And like, I'm just hearing like you deserve to be who you were. And I also want to just, I'm being told, like, I think the reason why and I'm just getting really teary-eyed. I'm hearing some guides say, I wish they were in your class. But like, I just want to apologize on behalf of the school system for you specifically right now. I'm getting very emotional. I feel like this is very big for a lot of you. I just want to apologize for how our society treats students who don't fit the specific mold that the U.S. school system has. And if you're not in the U.S. and you're watching this, it still pertains to you. I just feel like mostly in the U.S. because that's where I'm based, so that's what I can attest to. But really, schools were designed to conform. Like, literally, that's the history. They were designed to conform. So, no, it's not on you. That's on the schools. That's on the politicians and everyone who's, like, still running the systems this way. So, I want you to know you are so strong and you have everything you were taught, again, to tame, let it out. And maybe, you know, when I said like let it roar, like on, like I said, on like the lion, on the strength card on the Rider-Waite tarot deck is like, it's a lion. So it's like let it roar. Like, I saw a tiny lion get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, it's going to take time to unlearn all of these things that you were taught were wrong about yourself, but those are actually your untapped powers. Those are your powers. And a lot of times the systems, the schools, people, they don't know what to do when people are different. They don't know how to work with kids with certain behaviors or certain things, because they're like, it's not the norm. And that's right, it's not. You are so unique. You are so special. You were made this way for a reason. Though, like, what people tried to push down in you are your untapped powers. That's what you were literally brought on this earth to roar. You were brought on this earth to, I like saw some of you like the Tasmanian devil, you know, like on the cartoon, what's that from? But like, where it's like meep meep. Also, like maybe you were called like the Tasmanian devil as a child because you just have so much energy. They just didn't know what to do with that energy. That's your power. Your energy is your superpower. You can do so much with that energy. It's incredible. Like, be proud of your energy. And I know that can be really hard to do after being told time and time again to be not proud of something or to like diminish it. But again, yeah, a lot of time with this strength card, and like, it's funny because the lion and the strength and the hippo here, these are big animals. These are wild animals. Like, they can't be tamed. That's your strength. I think one of your untapped powers is you can't be tamed. No one could tame you. And I feel like people have tried over and over again to tame you, or maybe they have succeeded, and that's when you got really depressed or really sad or felt very, very lost. Because for your truest self to shine, for your untapped power to shine so brightly, you can't be tamed. No one can tame you. And I'm hearing you'll probably do best in a job where you work for yourself, or even like partner up with somebody who you kind of you're very different, but I'm also getting like yin yang energy of like kind of harmonious, like you feed off each other. Like if you're this wild one of like all these energy ideas and oh my gosh, we can do this, and the other person's very like, okay, slow and steady. I don't know, that's a random side tangent, but like I feel like a power you have is to bring something to a team, like, but again, like, or one person, and like create something very big and special with that. Hold on, you get a drink of water. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this feels very emotional. Okay. Okay, then here we have discernment, choice, duality, diligence in the air. I'm hearing, so with this one, I'm seeing this wolf, again, another animal, wolf, another wild animal. Oh my gosh. But this one's chained down and it's darker. And then this one is not chained. What I'm seeing for you specifically for this reading is this is like in the dark, in the shadows. Like you've been almost feeling like you've been tamed. And this one, see, look, it's unchained here. I feel like this is you as a kid. It's like you were so, I'm hearing drained of color, like drained of like the vibrancy that you have within you, like the inner color of like, I'm just for some reason picturing like, I guess I'm picturing auras and how auras have different colors, and you are almost like drained of your natural aura, how you naturally are supposed to live this life, and you felt so like chained down. And now I'm seeing like, even now, if you feel like you found yourself, if you're like, I've gotten so much better, like I have worked really hard on myself for some of you, and I feel like for some of you, you're like almost in the middle here, but like you're still sitting down acting like you're chained because of all the conditioning you've gotten when you were younger, and maybe even now some subtle things people or family or friends tell you. I'm hearing like maybe long-term friends might say things to you like, settle down or something, and it just kind of snaps you into that like how you were treated as a young kid. I would say talk to your friends about that. Just kind of like when people tend to tell women to calm down, it's like, okay, like, you know, that kind of energy is almost, I'm hearing like people you've known for a long time, they just will say certain phrases to you because that's how, as a child, teachers would talk to you or your parents. And I would say have some conversations with them. Another side tangent, not for everyone, but for some of you. Yeah, I just really feel like it's your untapped powers. You can get up now. You can get up. The light is kind of shining back into you. And this is almost like, okay, so this is you here now. It's like you have a little more light in your soul, but you're still acting like you're stuck. You're still like hearing all those things that people told you growing up. And now I'm hearing like this thing is blooming in front of you. And I'm seeing some color, and I feel like it's time to be a rainbow wolf. Like it's time to be a wolf, like I'm hearing iridescent, holographic, like whatever feels good to you, like just this wolf with that like shines. And it's time to like slowly get up. Again, it doesn't have to be a race. It's slow. I always say like slow and steady wins the race. Like stretch a little bit, move an arm, move a leg, and move it like, oh, I'm not as trapped as I can move over here. Okay, let's see what happens when I like put this paw out more. Like when I stand up, oh, I can stand up all the way. I'm not chained. Like I'm just feeling it's time to also look at the shadow side of like your childhood, like your inner child. Like I feel like there's a lot of inner child healing to be done. And I suggest like seeing like a therapist or like, you know, a professional for that. Cause that can be a lot of work. That can be a lot of, it's a lot of mental healing there. And also physically too. When you heal your mind, your body, it heals your body too. Sorry, my leg is falling asleep. I have to like maneuver it. Yeah, that's wild though. Hippo, and then the strength, there's the lion, and now the wolves. Like I'm telling you, you have your untapped power is like you're supposed to be wild and free, and that's like part of your purpose here is to untap this wild nature about you that's honestly so beautiful. Okay, so this one we have the world. Oh my gosh, another major arcana. Wow, I hear you do like you can have the world with it, like you have the world in you. Like I'm feeling like I'm almost sensing like, see these, for some reason I was picturing electricity zapping through all this, like bzz, like buzzing, like, and I'm feeling like your energy, like you have so much energy to give this world. When you untap your power, you have, oh my gosh, like you have no idea what you can contribute to this world. I'm like with the Tasmanian devil, I'm seeing that again, but a good thing. You're just like did that over here. Oh, saved these people over. Oh, just cured world hunger. Like maybe not that, but you know, like it's, and everyone's like, how do they do that? Like, how do they have the energy? And you're just like, it's just me, like, you know, and it's just, I feel like you're someone people like in the future are going to look at with awe when you untap this like raw energy, this raw power within you, this animalistic, like just incredible power. It's just feel like it's nonstop. Like I'm seeing a hamster like on a wheel, you know, it's just like keeps going and going, and it can like provide electricity for like homes. Like, I don't know, like your energy is very big. It's very big here. It just feels like your energy like is meant to help the world. And that's the thing that you've been told is like too much. And I'm specifically like thinking of certain students I've had in the past where it's like normally other teachers would be like, sit down or all this stuff. And I'm like, give them a wiggle cushion, give them a trampoline to jump on, like all this stuff. It's just like, that energy's got to go somewhere. You can't just force someone to like sit still for all of their life. Like that's not appropriate. And like, you're not someone who's meant to sit still. You're supposed to buzz around. You're supposed to just, yeah, be this wild, raw energy. Okay, here's another Buddy the Elf looking like this. I'm almost feel like constricted with this card. Like you're like walking around like, oh, yep, this is how I'm supposed to act. But you're kind of like, oh, like I have so much energy within me. And the other side says, hips don't lie. Ask someone to dance for you and see if they are telling the truth. I'm almost feeling with this one, I'm hearing kind of go back with how you were raised. And I feel like part of your inner child healing work and just healing work in general with this is to talk to people who raised you, siblings, family, whoever, friends, whoever raised you, and kind of ask them, like, there's no blame because people do what they need to do to survive, all this stuff, but there's also accountability. But I feel like if you can, I feel like it's almost like it's saying, have an honest conversation with the people who raised you and let them know, hey, like, I'm really feeling like my energy is a strength. Because again, there might be people kind of telling you, like I said, like friends who say subtle things to you, like, oh, like, chill out, like, oh, there's the Tasmanian devil. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's time to have honest conversations and say, I don't like that. And if people are, I just feel like people, like, they might say, okay, whatever, but you can tell if they're lying or not. You can tell if they're genuinely like, I'm going to try hard or I'm not. And I also kind of heard tower moment. This could lead to a tower moment, like in the Tarot of the Tower, but like the Tarot of the Tower. For me, I find tower moments can be like, I try to look at it from the half glass full. I'm like, it's beautiful because the foundation was crumbling anyway. Like, so now you can build up something way better. So there might be people in your life that you might fade away, you might lose, or might realize aren't for you in your life anymore when you have these honest conversations. And think of it like the tower crumbling, but then like, it's almost this fresh, I'm seeing like a deep breath, like, oh my gosh. And then you can like, I'm picturing all these wild animals running around the base and like building this really strong base with all this strength. So like, then you can like use all that energy to build this amazingly solid foundation with your energy, which is your untapped power. I'm just feeling your energy is your untapped power. That's the vibe here. Your energy is your untapped power. And just like, oh my gosh. And there's more to it. And I feel like you know specifically the specifics for that there as well. Oh my gosh. Okay. This was very emotional, I feel like. I don't know. Just like being an educator, seeing how some other educators treat children, the way it sounds like you might have been treated always broke my heart. Still does. And so I just really feel for you if that was your experience. Like, I'm sending you a really big hug, very, very big hug. And I'm just very excited for you to show up with your full strength, your full power, because it is time. It is time for you to freaking shine. It is time. Okay, this is the one for you to be your own oracle. I'm not going to say anything. I'll read it out loud to you. And I want you to take the moment to sit with it and how it specifically feels for you. So like, again, this is more of a collective. This one is going to be just, how do you interpret it? How do you interpret this card? So this one, all afar is all ahead. And the flower is camellia. All afar is all ahead. If you feel you can even take a screenshot and kind of sit with this. All afar is all ahead. Well, group number one, that felt very, very powerful. I hope you felt the energy and the power, and I hope you feel my love coming towards you too. It is time. It is time to untap that energy. It is time. Yeah? Is that? It is time to tap that. Tap into that energy. Okay, well, I love you, group number one. Thank you so much for being here. If you feel like you want a personalized reading, I have some on my website, but also I love that you're here on YouTube and that you can gain some clarity here. So have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time in the universe it is for you. So long.
Ooh, yeah, it's Fun Friday.
Hello, group number two. Welcome to your reading today. So I'm going to read it from this way to this way, and at the very end I will show you your card to be your own oracle. So today, let's find out what is your untapped power. So first of all, we have Buddy the Elf here looking like this. When I look at him, for some reason the number 8 is sticking out for me. That's funny. I didn't really pay attention to the numbers in the other one. So if you've been seeing like 888 or 88 lately, like 888 is for abundance. I feel like your untapped power is going to lead you to abundance, or it is a very abundant power in your life. And it's almost like the shot is like, really? Me abundant? So let's look at the other side. It says, we are deeply amazed at how far you have come. Whoa. I feel like this is just like, yeah, a very opening up message for your untapped power. I feel some of you have already untapped it a bit, but you don't realize to the extent of how that's like the power within you. Or maybe it's like you've just recently like discovered a new like power within yourself, and that could literally mean like you're standing up for yourself more. You are just like creating more. I'm hearing dancing for some of you, but I'm just hearing, oh my gosh, they're so amazed. I feel like they're also just like amazed at just how far you come in life. I feel some of you have been dealt like a hard life, like almost like obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and like you keep going and you're so resilient. Like that, I hear, is one of your powers, but I'm hearing that's not the untapped power, because I feel like you know that about yourself because of how much you've had to overcome. So basically this is just your spirit team gassing you up right now. They're like, oh my god, we're so amazed. Whoa, look at you go. Oh no, that's my cat's food bowl going off. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this and resume when it's done. Okay, sorry about that. My cats have automated food dishes, and it's like me saying like, it's food time. Yeah, so they are both done. Okay, so basically you're being gassed up. Let's see here. What? Prosper, proper. Okay. What did I say about abundance? I feel like, oh, I'm getting so many chills right now. Like your untapped power is, I'm hearing you can grow things where there's nothing to be grown. Like you figure out things that you're like, here's an idea, and people are like, where did that come from? Or like, what made you even think about that? Like I'm just seeing like there's all these flowers here, and it's like there's no ground, they're just like floating in the air, but they're like, they grew and they're prospering. They're prosperous. Like you can make anything prosperous. I feel like if you set your mind to it, I'm hearing like also the Magician tarot card, like, you know, like this manifester, like master manifester. I feel like that's you with what you want to accomplish in life. You take something from nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was gonna say if that was 8, that would have been really cool. 7's before 8, it counts, right? But maybe if you've been seeing 7s too. But yeah, I just really feel like it's funny because, you know, when I said in the beginning I'm not doing crystals, I felt part of me really wanted to use citrine for this reading, but I kept hearing, no, we're not doing crystals, and I kept envisioning citrine, and I wonder if it's because of this pile. Like it's so like, it just feels abundant. Like I feel like your untapped power, not feel like, it sounds like your untapped power is just, I'm hearing living a life of luxury. Like you have it within you to turn nothing into this abundant idea. And a lot of it too, I'm hearing, is you know how to live a life of abundance. Even with other people are like, that doesn't look like an abundant lifestyle. That's not luxury. You're like, it is. Trust me. Like for me, for example, I love to thrift, and I love filling my home with thrifted items, and it's sustainable. And I love making my home look pretty. And if someone walks in, it looks very well put together and all this stuff. And to me, it's like this luxurious space, but really I thrifted most of it. But like, to me, that's abundance. I'm like, my space is abundant, like, you know? And so like, it doesn't have to always be like money, like a ton of money, but I feel like you have that in you. But I'm hearing like, you are someone who, you see abundance everywhere. And then again, that's what makes you like make abundance in your life. Like you being on the beach with your feet in the water and looking up at the sky, it's like it's dusk and your just feet are in the ocean. You're like, oh my God, my life is abundant. You're like, how am I here? This is amazing. This is incredible. Like, what, me living this life? Oh my God, that doesn't cost money. Like, but like, you're literally like, you feel abundant, you feel luxurious. You're like, this life for me? What? Me with this life? Like, that is an untapped power of yours, is like, I'm feeling like you might be already very grateful, but I feel like there's so much more in you. Like, again, I feel like you have this grateful energy already about you, but I feel your untapped power is turning that into like, I'm hearing like physical products you might make, or physical campaign I'm hearing for some of you, like something that physical. And you're all very different people watching this, so it's all gonna be very different, but like, it's not just an idea. You turn an idea into something. And I got a lot of chills when I first brought this up. Like, it's, so take this gratitude. So you have this, I feel like a lot of you already have this abundant gratitude. And it always, don't worry if it ebbs and flows. Sometimes you feel more grateful. Sometimes you're like, what is my life? That's normal. Like, I'm saying you are more grateful than the average person. Like, you notice the abundance around you more than the average person. But the untapped part of that is then turning that mindset into something more. Because when you feel abundance, when you feel like you're like, I am abundant, you have this energy around you that you can manifest it into something physical and tangible. Like I said, it could be like, maybe it's a show, maybe it's a book, maybe it's a class, maybe it's something that like you feel abundant and it fills up your cup when you do this thing and make it physical and like make it into, bring it out into this world, birth it into this world. And you also get abundance from creating that. So then like you get money from that, but you also get, I'm hearing abundance in people you meet, abundance in places you see and go, abundance in just how happy you are, like abundance in happiness, abundance in hope, and like abundance in love. I'm hearing, I feel like some of this can like lead you down a road to love, is when you follow your passions, when you follow this abundant passion, and it just feels luxurious. Like I said, like, and I already feel like you feel like you're living a life of luxury more often than normally people do. But there's more to it. So that feels really good. Okay, so this one, oh my gosh, karmic lesson, confirmation, casualty, ascension. Oh, sorry, not casualty. I'm like, that's not right. Causality. What did I say? Oh my gosh, like karmic, like I'm hearing like your karma is because of how much you're grateful. Like you just get that back. You know, when you put good into the world, you attract good. When you put in negative into the world, you attract negative back. I'm almost envisioning these like, so this right here in the middle, I'm viewing this as coin, okay? But also like, it's like, I'm viewing it as basically abundance, I guess, in all forms. But I'm also seeing like money too. But like, this is you. You're very abundant. Your mind is very abundant. How you view the world is very abundant. And so you send that out into the world, and then you get it back tenfold. Like you get it back twice the amount here, even more. I'm hearing tenfold. Like, so what you put out, you're going to get, it's multiplying back at you. This is your untapped power. I'm hearing a lot of you might be grateful without realizing how grateful for you are. So now I feel like you need to like, okay, so they're so amazed with how far you've come. They're like, whoa. I feel like they want you to like be very proud of yourself and be grateful for yourself for how grateful you are. And just like give yourself a pat on the back right now. Like literally do it. Let's do it together. Hell yeah. Doing so abundant, so grateful. Grateful, abundance with gratefulness. Yeah, and I just really feel, what else? The causality. Yeah, like I'm also hearing a lot of you stand up for causes that like meaningful causes that make a difference. And I feel like you're going to get your good abundant karma back from that. But like, you're not doing it to get something in return. Like you're like, it'd be kind of nice to have like this karma, you know, but like, you're not doing it for karma. You're not doing it like, I must do this nice thing to get nice things back, because then you're not really doing it for the right reason. And then, you know, then the karma's weird. Or not weird. I don't know. I'm not a karma professional here. But basically I'm hearing, yeah, like a lot of you might you know, when I said like putting stuff out, like making things, I was like really envisioning, like I said, like campaigns or like charity work, like social work. If I don't know, maybe a lot of you that interests you, or you're doing that already, or you donate a lot to charities. I feel like your untapped power is also giving abundance to where not everyone gives abundance, but I feel like, you know, everyone does their own thing in life. Like other people donate to other things. Some people donate to some places. So I'm not trying to shade anybody, but basically what I'm saying is your untapped power, I feel like you see more than the average person of who needs support, and you're like, here's abundance for you. Here's abundance. Like you give yourself in different ways, whether it's time, money, just positive praise and feedback, just good energy. Like, I feel like you do that more than the average person. And I'm hearing your untapped power is like, you have more of that in you, but like, you have to first always treat yourself. You have to fill up your own cup before others. So don't be like, oh, I have to go out there now more. It's more of like, no, like realize, like look around even more and see what you have. It's just like, I feel like you have more gratitude within you than you realize, and you have more abundance within you than you realize, and therefore you have more to share, and therefore you have more to get back. It's just a cycle. It's like I said, it's kind of doop, 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 like, or this, and then both come back. And it's just this karmic cycle, and I feel like you really enjoy it. And the fact that it's like in the universe here, I feel like this is a purpose of yours. Like if you believe in like soul reincarnation and all that, I feel like your soul's purpose, like you had your soul plan to come here to spread abundance and be abundant, is kind of what I feel. I feel like it's time for your like purpose to shine, like to find that. And again, I'm not being like, you need to get out there now and do all this stuff. It's more of like, be amazed at yourself and be like, wow, I'm fucking amazing. Like, I feel like they want you to be more amazed at yourself. And so untapping that power is letting yourself be amazed at yourself, is letting yourself be like, wow, I'm a pretty great human. Like, I'm pretty awesome. Yes, you are. And I feel like to untap more of this like abundance within you and around you is to give yourself more pats on the back, is to give yourself acknowledgement of what you've been doing for yourself and the people around you and this world. Yeah, and I'm seeing ascension. Like I feel this is just gonna like rise you up so much, like your vibration, like you're just gonna feel lighter, you're gonna feel more free, you're gonna feel more just like magical when you just like fully embrace this abundance around you and within you. And this one we have Aphrodite. Okay, so I need to let me look in the book for her. I don't know like off the top of my head about goddesses. So let me just, I'm looking for Aphrodite. Isn't she love, right? Is that like aphrodisiac kind of? Is that where that comes from? I just made that connection. Is that it? Okay. Here we go. And it's myrtle, by the way. Oh, and this one was clover. I forgot to tell you the plant. Aphrodite's triple myrtle drinks from a winged, frameless face, free from versions of averted dames or the gaze of blame or shame. Her concubine lifts us to the heavens of love when we're willing to wilt all woe. This goddess herself flies us over and over to wherever our thirst may grow. Okay, so the free from versions of averted dames or the gaze of blame or shame. I'm almost feeling like you find the good in things that people don't normally, like I already said, but like people might look down on you and you're like, that's on you, not me. Like, I feel like that's another part of your untapped power is like, you have it within you to like, or you've already, maybe this is not untapped. For some of you, this is not untapped, but for some of you, like, it is like to find this within yourself, but like, I feel like you have it easier within you also to, like if someone blames you for something or shames you, I'm almost feeling like you are one to hold yourself responsible when you need to, but you also like, I almost feel like you see the abundance in the situation of like, this is a lesson learned. And if you are someone to like dismiss it or not, I feel like you have it, I'm hearing you have it within yourself to hold yourself accountable. And that doesn't make you the bad person, but it just means like, you're like, I'm learning, I'm on this life to learn. I feel like that's kind of a side message. That's not like fully the full message here, but I feel like that's like kind of a side message. But yeah, so Aphrodite lifts us to the heaven of love where we're willing to will all woe. Like, the fact that you can see so much abundance around you even when things go wrong, like, that's when you just like, you get lifted up. Like, love conquers all. Love is so powerful. Love is so strong. Love is like the highest vibration there is. I feel like, I think I'm still learning, but I feel like love is the highest vibration, right? It's just pure love and acceptance. And I feel when you can just have love for your surroundings and just see that, like, I feel like that's when you rise higher. Kind of like what I was talking about here. Like, you just rise up and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so free. I'm ascending. Like, oh my gosh, like this love and the wings, like, I feel like you are just going to be lifted up so much more when you fully dive into this abundant lifestyle, meaning seeing all the abundance around you and sharing your abundance in a very healthy, positive way for you. Don't drain yourself to share abundance, because that's not abundant. It's sharing what feels right. In some years, you might be donating like crazy, and then some years you can't. And like, donate money, but you can donate your time, or you donate your wisdom or something, you know, like, it's all different. It's all abundant in its own forms. Okay, this one, I just feel like it's funny how you got kind of these two. I almost feel like this was you, like, when I first mentioned the reading abundance, and now you're like, oh my God, abundance. And I see 3. It's almost like an 8. So picture this, a stroll in a marvelous park. Yeah, I feel like this is just, you're walking in abundance. A marvelous park, think of how it feels when there's greenery around you, the birds are chirping, you hear people laughing nearby, kids are running, jumping rope. Oh my goodness, maybe you're in a city, maybe you're in the countryside, whatever feels good and abundant to you. Like, if you're strolling in this marvelous park, it's so hard to not feel abundant. It's so hard to not feel luxurious. It's just like, you're like, oh my God, like, this feels so good. Like, me being here, kind of like when I talked about you being in the ocean, you're like, me here, what? This is incredible. Who am I to deserve this? Oh, it's me, I do deserve this, duh, of course. Like, it's just, your untapped power is just really honing in on what's around you. When you hone in on the abundance around you and what you already have, you're gonna make waves. Like I said before, like the manifester, like you just gotta, what am I trying to say here? The gratefulness. I feel like if you just up that and like say affirmations to yourself daily, or just talk out loud of what you're experiencing. Because I feel like a lot of you, like I said, you're already more grateful than the average person. You already see the luxury around you more than the average person, the abundance. But I think what you need to do is now start saying out loud, almost like if you're in a part, like, oh my gosh, look where I am, me. Like, can you believe we're here? Like, almost like talk it up in this way. And I feel like then you're going to feel it more. You're going to feel it more. And then over time, you're not going to need to say it out loud as much to really feel it. Because I feel like when you're in it, when you really feel it, that's when like you manifest better. Like, that's like, manifesting is all about the feelings. You know, you can say, I want a car. Or you can say, when I'm on the road, I want to feel like I'm like zipping by, like when I'm actually doing the speed limit, I want to feel like the comfort of the warm seat below me and my coffee's right next to me. I don't know, like, just think of the feeling. So when you're strolling in a marvelous park, or even when you're at a grocery store and they have your oat milk in stock and you're like, oh my gosh, life is abundant. They have what I need and I don't need to go to another store. This is incredible. Like, you know, just kind of be dramatic about it, have fun with it. And that's literally going to untap so much more abundance for you and in your life. Wow. Love this for you. This is incredible. I feel like you're almost there. You just need to like, there's just, yeah, that little extra boost for yourself, but I love it. So this is your Be Your Own Oracle card. I'm gonna flip it over, I'll read it to you, and I'm gonna show it to you, but you're gonna read it for yourself because this was messages for the collective who are watching this reading. And this one, I want you to figure out what it means specifically for you. So here we have, ooh, the Hierophant. So this is another Tarot Major Arcana, but you don't need to know Tarot to be able to decipher this message. I will just let you know really quickly, it's funny because normally in Tarot, when I pull this card, I use it for one meaning, but in this deck, I always have a different meaning for it because of the imagery. So really focus on the imagery if you're not a person who reads Tarot. Or if you are, you can still focus on the imagery. And I will stop talking now. Okay, that wasn't very long, but I gave you at least a little moment. Feel free to screenshot if you feel like you want more time with this card to be your own oracle. Well, group number 2, credible energy. Love the abundance. Love the luxury, you know? Luxury. When I stroll in a marvelous park, I'll think about you, and I'll be right there with you. Be like, wow, look at that tree. Amazing. Okay, well, if you feel like you want a personal reading with me, you can book one on my website. But if you don't, I'm just so happy you are here on YouTube with me, and I'm just really glad I can spread some messages of abundance for you today. So I hope you have a great day, evening, whatever time in the universe it is for you, and just keep on being abundant. Group number 2, keep on keeping on. So long.
Ooh, yeah, it's Fun Friday.
Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading on what is your untapped power. So here I have them all laid out what I'll be reading today. And this is the card for you to be your own oracle at the very end of your reading. So let's dive on in. Let's jive on in. Look at him having the best time. So right away, I'm just feeling like kind of spunky. I'm feeling like, ooh, as soon as I said like, let's dive on in, like, I feel like you're a spunky person or someone who can like find the fun in anything. Like, this is before I'm even reading on any of this, but I just feel in general, I feel like you have like, you're just oh, hey over there. Oh, you, Johnny, look at you go. Oh, Martha, wow. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like you're a person who's just like kind of the life of the party. So that's just a side vibe there. Or maybe it'll be the whole vibe, who knows. But let's read this. It says, tiptoe today. Okay, ooh, an untapped power. So, okay, I feel like outwardly you might be like, hey, ooh, hey, ooh. Like, but I feel like an untapped power of yours is very, like, you can be very reserved, or like, I'm hearing quiet and wise, like, or like you have this like quiet wisdom about you. Like, I feel like you might be this person who's like, hey, and everyone's like, they're the life of the party, but like literally like inwards, you're like, I am so wise. I have so much to share. But it's like, maybe people don't see you that way currently, or only a few people do. And they're like, oh my gosh, no, like talk to them for this like 5 minutes and you're going to like realize what they have to share. I feel like your untapped power is sharing your knowledge, almost like with this card. We'll see more, but like, I feel like it's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now is like sharing your knowledge, like the secret inward stuff. I don't know why. Secret inward stuff. I don't know. That was very profound, Sarah. But yeah, tiptoe today, like with that specifically, I just really feel like it's almost like you sneak up on people with your wisdom. Like your wisdom sneaks up on people. And like, because yeah, they see you as this, and then you'll say this thing and they're like, wait, what? Did you just, oh, wow, I never thought of that way. Like, I feel like your untapped power is this like, kind of like, I feel like you know a lot of things that people might not know. I feel like you love learning, or like the books you read, the things you consume. It's just you naturally learn all this stuff, and maybe you have like a photogenic memory, or like if you read something you remember it. Like I feel like there's just something with your memory, so you have all of these things within you that like these facts, this knowledge that you can share, and I feel like it creeps up on people. You tiptoe and bam. Okay, so this oracle card here, we have Fear Forgotten. Fear Forgotten. You might almost have like multiple untapped powers here, because this feels very different. This almost feels like you see the light in like situations other people might find very scary. And I'm seeing this snake, and I feel like you shed, like I'm getting kind of rebirth energy. Like I feel like you're not afraid to shed what no longer serves you. I feel like you just, I'm getting like constant rebirth, like constant lighting of the candle. Like the candle goes out, you're like, oh, I just gotta, no big deal. I just, relight it. No biggie. Oh, my skin's coming up. No big, I just grow more. Like I just feel like, I don't even know if this is untapped. I feel like this is just who you are right now. And if you're like, I don't know, rebirth, like changing kind of scares me. I feel like you have it within you. Once you do it once or twice, I feel like some of you might be on the cusp of like a tower moment, like sort of like something, a big shift in your life. And I don't say that to scare you. It's more of like you creating it for yourself, being like, I am finally going to go after this thing I've been wanting to. And it kind of crumbles like the world you know now, your life you know now. And I'm getting a lot of chills with this. So I feel like this is for quite a few of you here. But when you go through this moment, when you go through this tower moment, I feel like a lot of you have been resisting it, resisting a big change that you know feels really right for you. And once you go through that once, like the first time, I feel like you're gonna come out on the other side and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, life is so much better now. Like I'm so happy I crumbled that old past version of me and that old life. And then I feel like you're going to become this snake who's constantly shedding what doesn't serve you, because you're like, I saw what it did for me. Like I saw this, and like all the time you're no longer going to be fearful. So I feel like you're untapped. So for some of you, this is untapped power, because I feel like it's a lot of you, because I'm feeling a lot of energy when I was saying this message, and still am. Like I feel like I might be a politician right now, like, but I just feel take that leap of faith. Like this is kind of random, I feel, but it's not at all at the same time. Like you gotta let this tower moment happen. You gotta make these changes, and your untapped power is gonna shine through, because you're gonna realize how resilient you are. You're going to realize how much better it is on the other side. And then you're gonna become this person who's just like I said, shedding what doesn't serve you, and inviting in the light, the things that like light you up, that light up your soul. And I feel like that's going to help you be a more true version of this person, where it's like, hey. Some of you, I think, might be using that as a distraction. Everyone's like, oh my God, they're living the best life. They're always so happy. But maybe you're not. Maybe inside you're like, oh my gosh. Maybe you're tiptoeing around inside your brain. Like maybe you're very sluggish when you're not around people. And an untapped power is like when you learn to shed what doesn't serve you, when you learn to shed, you're going to forget the fear of like, it's not going to, each time it's going to be less scary when you need to shed what doesn't serve you. And then you really will be going around, hey, and feel like this way inside, So, wow, a lot of like different, feels very complex. Like there's a lot of layers to this reading. I love this. I'm obsessed. I really hope you're feeling like seen and heard with this reading. It feels just like very profound so far. So this one, horizon, intention, potential, foresight. Oh my gosh. What I was just saying, like, I feel like there's so much for you. Like, I feel like you might be looking out right now and you're just like, oh, I wish I could have that. You can. And that's the whole point, is like, I feel like you have this fear, but your untapped power is learning to, or your untapped power is you're going to learn that you're not going to be, it's not that scary, and you're going to thrive in change. I feel like that's like part of your untapped powers. You are going to like really learn how you're so resilient, because you are very resilient. And I feel like right now you're looking out like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that life. I wish I had that. You can have that. You can go after it. And I feel like you just need to forget the fear. The ego is so loud right now, and go after your intuition. Like, I'm almost hearing like tiptoe around your ego, be like, oh yeah, ego, sure, yeah, definitely like not going to be making this change. Boom, I did it. Like, I don't know. I feel like some of you, I'm hearing that, might have to be like, you have to make the switch. You have to talk to the person. You have to say you're quitting. You just have to move. You just have to do it so quickly. You almost need to like tiptoe around yourself. Like, you almost need to like fake out yourself. Like, do it. Did it. Like, and that's how you're kind of like face the fear. And then afterwards, yeah, like it's gonna be scary. There's gonna be change. There's gonna be work involved, like the change, and like, you know, shedding what doesn't serve you. It's gonna cause a lot of emotions. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm saying your untapped power is you're gonna learn how to like thrive in this state. You're gonna learn how to thrive in these emotional states, and like you're gonna realize how much potential your life has now. Like, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is what I have for me now. I just want to share a couple experiences. Like, my last year was like very intense for me. I quit my job being a teacher. I also asked for a divorce. Both, like, that changed my life drastically. And I just want to share this with you of, yes, it was so emotional and it was very hard, but at the same time, the hardest parts for me, I still felt the most calm and the most at peace I ever have in my whole life. So I want to share that with you. Even though things were so chaotic and I would be like sobbing some days, underneath all that sadness and like crying and kind of fear of change, I felt the most hope and the most calm I've ever felt. And that's what kept me going. And I just want to share that with you, because I want you to know you're not alone. There's so many other people who are going through things too, or who have gone through things. Reach out to me if you feel like you want to. Like, you can email me. Pretty sure I have that in the description, or DM me on Instagram. But I'm always here to talk about that because it's very fresh in my mind. Very, very fresh. And I just want you to know you can survive it. Like, you can go through these changes and come out on the other side. Like, you will no longer be this person looking at the horizon. You'll be over here on this little piece of land waving, hey, like, or looking out being like, oh my gosh, that used to be me standing there. And I'm also hearing an untapped power of yours is you standing here helping other people cross over. Like, when you see people looking out on the horizon, you will be one to like throw a lifeline or something, being like, or call them up, something where you're like, join me over here. Honestly, it's amazing. Like, yes, it's hard. Kind of what I'm doing for you right now. And I feel like can be you too. And like, you will use this energy of yours to help other people. Like, I feel like this energy is one of the main things. And also, like I said, then you have all this wisdom. So you have all this energy, like this, hey, and then wisdom. So you can kind of like lure people. Like, I feel like you're just someone people can trust very easily because they have a good time with you. And then you can drop, like, if they're just having a hard time, you can instantly become this wise person that they can this person they can lean on. So that's like, you have so much, there's so much untapped power here, you know? And I feel like what I was saying, to access all this is to take this leap, to stop looking at the horizon, but to get in the boat and go, you know? And here, be cross. I'm hearing be firm with yourself and your decisions, and be firm with other people about your decisions. People aren't going to be happy. Not everyone's going to be happy about the life choices you make. Trust me, been there. And I had to stand up for myself more than I even knew possible. And I feel like for you, that's an untapped power, is realizing your power here. You're going to learn how you have to be, not cross, but like, you might have to be in a respectful way, being like, you know what? I hear you don't like this change of mine, but it makes my life a lot better and I love it. So I'm going to continue doing this. And I'm sorry if that makes you unhappy, but it makes me very happy. So I'm going to continue living my life this way. I feel like kind of that energy, I feel like you're going to untap this power within you to be able to stand up for yourself. Again, kind of that wisdom's going to come out. Like people, like I said, might see just this side of you, but I feel like going through this change in your life, that part of you is going to become equal like this. People are going to equally notice it just as much. You're going to be the life of the party and also like the wise owl of the party. Like, you know, like people come to you for fun and advice. And yeah, you're just going to really learn how to stand up for yourself. Like you're going to really untap this power of standing up for yourself and learning how to do it in a kind, respectful way. And it's a learning journey, you know, and I just don't feel bad if like you lash out on someone because you're like, I don't normally do this, and then hold yourself accountable. I'm sorry, didn't mean to say it that way. I should have said it this way. Like there's learning involved, and that I just want to say that like that's okay, because when you learn a new skill, you're going to make mistakes, and that comes in the territory of when you find new ways to express yourself. You're going to do things not in the best way, but I'm saying that's human. Just hold yourself accountable. I felt like a lot of you need to hear that, because some of you might already be in this space and just like am feeling really guilty with maybe how you treated some people. Make amends if you feel you need to, write letters or something. I'm just hearing like that wisdom will come out when it needs to. Yeah, that's a side note just for some of you. Sorry, my leg is asleep. This happened in like one of the other ones, but it was my other leg. This leg's like my time to shine. Okay, here we have this one. Ooh, I'm hearing giddy. Like I'm hearing I can have that almost. On this side, squish something squishy today. I just feel it might be stressful, and I'm seeing like a stress ball, like, you know, like sometimes you'll just, I'm like almost see like also anger out. I'm viewing like some of those like those places where you go and like smash old TVs and all of that. Like I'm hearing like sensory output or input will be needed during this time. This is like totally a side note, but like this is you being like, okay, I like can't handle it anymore. I'm just like kind of at my wit's end with all this change. And I feel like you got to let yourself get out, express that. You got to express. You can't constantly be this person, because then you're just like dying inside. You're just like, or you're going to blow up almost. Like you can't constantly be this person. You got to be all parts of yourself. I'm hearing you have to let all of your parts show and shine, and you're human. You might just be like some days like I'm sad to people, or I'm not having a good time. I'm actually angry today. Like I feel like you need to start saying this stuff more. Because yeah, like I feel like people, like I kind of said, see you in one way, and your untapped potential, like power, like you are a human. You have all the emotions. You're allowed to have all of that. We don't want you to just feel so bottled up, like you can't fully express yourself. And I think maybe along with this, like if you're constantly acting like you're happy, like you're gonna eventually blow, and then it's like way worse than it would have been if you just like let off steam every once in a while, like squish something squishy. And so maybe that's when I was kind of coming with like getting those messages for apologizing, because maybe how you already live your life is happy, like, and then like bottling everything up, and then you just let it out. And so I feel like an untapped power of yours is learning to control that and learning to let it out. Time it, like, I'm mad today. I'm sad. This really disappointed, like, or I'm very disappointed when you said this. Let's talk about it. Or I'm feeling really sad right now because I'm just not blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Like, I'm hearing using I language. That's why I switched myself. Like, said you disappointed me. Like, I'm disappointed when you said this, because then it puts it on you. I feel like these side messages are coming in. But yeah, like I feel like an untapped power is when you go through this journey, when you choose to go through this journey, which I really hope you do, because of the happiness that's going to come out of this, is you're going to really learn how, I feel like, be a human with all the emotions. You're going to learn how to be okay with feeling the uncomfortable. I feel like that's part of it. Like, and I feel like that kind of goes with this, and it's become normal to you. You're just like, because that kind of comes with the rebirth and shedding what doesn't serve you. Like, You have to feel all those emotions to be able to shed what no longer serves you. And I feel like your power is, you're going to learn to be that person. And again, I feel like then you're going to help other people on their own journey. Like you're going to be standing on the mountain or the land over here, helping other people through their own journey with what you've learned. You could be like, I used to be that way. I completely see where you're coming from. Let me show you like the tools that help me get through these emotions or move through life this one way. Yeah. So this just feels, I feel this one was so different than the other readings. It's just very interesting. It's like basically your untapped power is to be a full spectrum human, like to be you, to show all of you. Like you have it within you to be you if you just let yourself. I feel like that's kind of the overall, and like, yeah, it's like there's so many things in here. And I feel like, again, you're looking at the horizon, which is good. I'm glad you see the potential. I'm glad you're interested. Like, I'm glad because, like, she's, like, very close to the edge here. Like, I'm glad you're not all the way back. Like, I feel like you're very close to taking that leap. And I really, really hope you do. And again, DM me, email me if you just, like, I don't know, just want support in any way. But again, I'm not a licensed therapist or anything, so seek a professional for like diving deep, all of that. I mean, to connect with someone who's been through something you have, because sometimes it's nice to just be like, hey, this is what I'm going through, and kind of just let somebody else know what you're going through so then you don't feel so alone. But yeah, I feel like licensed professional will definitely help if you feel you need to go down that route, if there's a lot to unpack, because if you only show yourself in one way for so long, you might need some support when you do start showing other aspects of yourself. So I highly recommend that. Yeah, so let's get to you being your own oracle. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to read it to you, but you are going to be the one who figures out what it means for you, because this is a collective reading. And this one, I want it to be specifically the messages you pick up when I flip it over when you read it. But I'll read it to you first, actually. Ooh, the star. The star, this is from the Major Arcana. Feel free to screenshot it if you feel like you want time to look. You can look at the imagery. If you are very in tune with tarot, you can think of the message of the star. If you're like, I don't read tarot at all, it doesn't matter. It's what you see here. It's what you think of when you hear the star. So that is your Be Your Own Oracle card, and that was your reading group number 3. Wow. I just feel like there's so much potential. I feel like you have untapped potential, you know, like you have so much potential to unpack and to learn about. And I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. So if you feel like you want an individualized reading, you can go on my website and get one there. But if you don't, like, I'm just so happy you're here and that you joined me here on YouTube and that I can support you with messages here. So just thank you so much for supporting me by being here and being you. All of you, not just this, but all of you. I love all of you. But yeah, thank you. And I hope you have a great day, evening, whatever time in the universe it is for you. And just, I'm excited for you. I'm just excited for you. I feel so much hope, and I hope you do too. So again, I love you guys. Goodbye.
Ooh, yeah, it's Fun Friday.